Hey, I'm not maga, don't scroll. And I just had a very interesting interaction with another contractor who is a Trump supporter. And I got to watch their cognitive dissonance start to break down in real time over the course of one conversation. It was incredible. And I don't know what I said to get us onto the subject. It's me. I'm constantly critiquing the Trump regime, so it could have been any number of things. But it prompted them to respond with something like, oh, I really like a lot of the things that they've been doing. You know, I really appreciate how they've been working hard to keep our streets safe and get rid of all these dangerous criminal immigrants and all these other, BS talking points that they just automatically regurgitate when confronted with the absolute shittiness that has befallen this country as a result of the Trump regime. And I just kind of, unless somebody shows me that they're interested in hearing the other perspective, I'm not even going to try with that person anymore. But then they did that, right? The conversation went on onto more business-oriented topics. And then this person asked me, hey, how are you guys doing right now, business-wise? Are you guys staying busy, or is it, kind of slow? And I said, it's not as busy as it could be, but I mean, we're getting by, we're doing all right here, why? And then they proceeded to tell me that after 15 years in business, this is the hardest year that they have ever had, that they have never struggled this hard, that they in fact have not drawn a paycheck from their company since July. They have not drawn a paycheck since July. Things have been that tough for them. And they just couldn't figure out, for the life of them, why this year particularly has been so hard. What could possibly be the variable this year that has made things just so cost prohibitive from doing projects and moving forward and making money? What could have possibly happened? And they asked me, did I think it was a reflection of the economy as a whole? And well, since you asked, I told them exactly what I think, that absolutely, due to tariffs and other economic policies specifically related to our industry and immigration policies that have specifically impacted our industry, that yes, absolutely, people in our industry are struggling right now because of those economic policies, because of those immigration policies. Yes, all of those things are what's directly affecting you right now. How do you not understand that material costs have gone up? All of the costs associated with what we do have gone up across the board. And because prices across the board have gone up, people don't have the extra money that they pay us to do the fixes that they've been putting off or the upgrades that they've been thinking about. Those extra funds that they had are no longer extra. They're having to go towards necessities. They're having to plan for things that they didn't have to plan for before because of these policies. So yes, absolutely, this year, if you're struggling, it is a reflection of the new policies that have been implemented that are directly impacting you. And they just sort of sat there quiet for a few minutes after I laid all that out. You could almost hear the gears turning in there. And, then we went back to the business at hand and ended the conversation. But a seed was planted. The barriers are starting to break down. It is becoming much harder for them to ignore the consequences of their vote as those consequences are hitting closer and closer to home. And I don't have any pity for them because of that. They voted for this and they can't unring that bell. But I am just hoping that that pain that they are feeling, which I'm guessing is going to continue getting worse, is going to carry over into voting results come the midterms. That's really the hope.